Letter 122 of Letters from Egypt, by Lady Lucie Duff Gordon. Read for LibriVox.org into the public domain. To Sir Alexander Duff Gordon, Aswan, January 25, 1869. Dearest Alec, we have been here 10 days, and I find the air quite the best for me. I cough much less, only I am weak and short of breath. I have got a most excellent young Rais for my boat, and a sailor who sings like a nightingale. Indeed, he is not a sailor at all, but a professional Cairo singer who came up with me for fun. He draws crowds to hear him, and at Esneh the congregation prayed for me in the mosque, that God might reward me for the pleasure I had provided for them. Fancy desiring the prayers of this congregation for the welfare of the lady who gave me her opera box last Saturday. If prayers could avail to cure, I ought to get well rapidly. At Luxor Omar killed the sheep he had vowed, and Mustafa and Mohammed each killed 2, as thank offerings for my life, and all the darweeshes held 2 great zikirs in a tent pitched behind the boat, and drummed and chanted and called on the Lord for 2 whole nights, and every man in my boat fasted Ramadan severely, from Omar and the crew to the little boys. I think Darfur was the most meritorious of all, because he has such a gargantuan appetite, but he fasted his 30 days bravely and rubbed his little nose in the dust energetically in prayer. On Christmas Day I was at Esneh. It was warm and fine, and I made fantasia and had the girls to dance. Zeyneb and Hilalea claimed to be my own special Gazawi, so to speak, my ballerine de camera, and they did their best. How I did long to transport the whole scene before your eyes: Ramadan warbling intense love songs, and beating on a tiny tambourine, while Zeyneb danced before him and gave the pantomime to his song, and the sailors and girls and respectable merchants sat pell-mell all around on the deck, and the player on the rabab drew from it a wail like that of Isis for dead Osiris. I never quite know whether it is now or 4,000 years ago, or even 10,000, when I am in the dreamy intoxication of a real Egyptian fantasia. Nothing is so antique as the Gazawi, the real dancing girls. They are still subject to religious ecstasies of a very curious kind, no doubt inherited from the remotest antiquity. Ask any learned pundit to explain to you the Czar, it is really curious. Now that I am too ill to write, I feel very sorry that I did not persist and write on the beliefs of Egypt, in spite of your fear that the learned would cut me up, for I honestly believe that knowledge will die with me which few others possess. You must recollect that the learned know books, and I know men, and what is still more difficult, women. The cataract is very bad this year, owing to want of water in the Nile, and to the shameful conduct of the Maun here. The cataract men came to me, and prayed me to give them my voice before the Mudir, which I will do. Allah Eddin Bey seems a decent man, and will perhaps remove the rascal, whose robberies on travellers are notorious, and his oppression of the poor savages who pull the boats up odious. 2 boats have been severely damaged, and my friend the Rais of the Cataract, the one I threatened to shoot last year, and who has believed in me ever since, does not advise me to go up, though he would take me for nothing, he swears, if I wished. So as the air is good here and Maurice is happy with his companions, I will stay here. I meant to have discharged my men, but I have grown so fond of them, having so good a set, that I can't bring myself to save £20 by turning them adrift, when we are all so happy and comfortable, and the poor fellows are just marrying new wives with their wages. Goodbye, dearest Alick, forgive a scrawl, for I am very weak all over, fingers and all. Best love to my darling Rainey. 3 boats have little girls of 5 to 8 on board, and I do envy them so. I think Maurice had better go home to you when we get to Cairo. He ought to be doing something. End of letter 122. Read by Sibella Denton. All LibriVox files are in the public domain. For more information, please visit LibriVox.org.